Hey guys, going to try to make this a quick video, just showing you real quickly a new design I've kind of been working on. I was doing a little bit of doodling the other day and freehanded this design and kind of customized it in some various points until it looked good to me. And this is what I came up with, but then went ahead and make a secondary design, just slightly different. As you can see, just a little bit more meat on that first finger choil there, just to see how I liked that. And to be honest, I'm really liking both designs, although I think I'm going to apply handle scales differently to each if I end up making both of these. And what I'm actually thinking is using a thicker handle scale for this one, since it has kind of a narrower section here. Maybe I'll use a 1/4-inch scale or so and kind of taper that down. As opposed to this one, I'll probably just use an 1/8-inch scale as I normally would on a knife this size. And I'll kind of give them different cross sections. This one will be a little bit rounder. This one will be a little bit more elliptical or square. But I think they'll both be pretty comfortable in hand. It's just figuring out how I want to do that exactly. But what I was originally going for is kind of an OG curve in the handle there. I really like that style of curve as I see it in architecture and woodworking and things like that. You see it a lot on table aprons and things like that, and furniture, and it's really attractive and really functional, and I think it can definitely cross over well into a knife handle. So it's kind of halfway going for that. I don't think it's too original necessarily. I'm sure other guys have done similar handles with similar thought behind it. But I went ahead and changed my blade shape up a little bit too compared to what I've done in the past. Gave a little bit broader of a radius on the spine and kind of dropped that point a little bit more. And it even has just a little bit more belly. And just to give you a quick example as a comparison, you can kind of see a little bit more belly there, a little bit more abrupt. Pretty much the same cutting edge as far as from the Ricasso to the tip, though the Ricasso is a little bit thinner there because of the deeper finger choil. And that kind of gives an example of the broader radius. It's very slight in reality, but I think it really sets it off quite a bit more compared to, say, this knife. But they are very similar in size, even the handles, not very different at all. So definitely meant to be more of a full-handed knife for all 4 fingers if you have average sized hands like mine. And again, pretty much the same design. This one's just a little bit broader. I may just apply the scales differently and see how I like it. But as far as the hardware, I'll probably just do a single pin here in between the finger choil and where the second finger would go, and then maybe a lanyard tube as well. Not so much for practicality or functional use, rather, but just for maybe a key fob or a small lanyard for decoration. I don't think they're too practical in use for small knives like these, but a lot of guys like them. I think it sets the knife off. And just to give you another example of a size comparison, it is a little bit longer than these other 2 knives I recently came up with. I think these I'm actually going to call my possum skinners. I think that's a pretty catchy name. You guys maybe let me know what you think. But that's kind of the idea behind them. Maybe small skinners for small game. I don't know how many of you guys skin possums or coons on a regular basis. I know I don't. But I would imagine this would be a pretty good knife for that. Even for larger game, opening cavities, doing some smaller processing, things like that. So still want to make a couple of these. Definitely want to make a couple of these as well. And I think my problem at the moment is really just making more designs than knives. Seems before I can get one design turned out, I kind of get another one in my head or another idea that I think would be cool, and that kind of takes over. So maybe we can get 4 blades turned out, these 2 and these 2, and get some prototypes going. I know I have plenty of material for all, but it's just getting down to it, getting them out. That seems to be the problem. But just figured I'd show that to you guys. Definitely appreciate some feedback, maybe what you guys would prefer or like to see, which ones look visually better to you. I know this one's definitely a little bit more exaggerated or obvious as far as the curves, which is what I was going for. But I think this one looks attractive as well with softer features and lends itself to some thinner handle scales while being ergonomic at the same time. So just stuff I'm playing with. Figured I'd share. Appreciate any feedback. Definitely appreciate the new subscribers I've been getting as of recent. Appreciate all the views. Those of you who consistently watch my videos, and those of you who consistently give feedback as well. It's greatly appreciated, and it's not taken for granted. So thanks again, guys, and I'll talk to you later.